Hello guys, Jonas here and welcome to TouHou LostWord, and today in this video I'm here to present you guys with the latest friend tier list as that of May 2021. And now let's get this started. First of all, I would really love to give this big thanks and credit to this amazing website known as GamePress.gg who actually came up with this tier list in the first place. And there are so many amazing information regarding TouHou LostWord in this website out here, so check it out. Anyways, now let's start our discussion from the S tier hero units, and the first one on the list is gonna be Reimu Hakurei. Well, she is a free-to-play unit. Just start a new account in the game and you will be getting her for free. Okay, she is being regarded as a very effective unit in the farming content. A+ for farm, S for tower, and S rating for the overall. Okay, so that is really amazing portfolio right over here. So looking into her details out here, guys, we can see that like as she's a defensive unit, definitely she's going to excel at health, yang defense, and yin defense. Health being 6,650 points, yang defense being like 1,235 points, and yin defense being 1,190 points. All right, and well, you can see that like both of her shot skills are actually targeting single target units. All right, and now looking into her spell cards out here, guess what, guys? With the first spell card out here, she can actually boost her own evasion and yang defense. Okay, so that is really good for up to a total of 3 turns, and that is pretty impressive as well. So thanks to this boost in evasion and yang, definitely she can actually be a really good defender out there. And with the second spell card out here, she can actually decrease the yang attack and yin attack of the opponent, and that can actually be quite helpful. I mean, like if the attack of the opponent can be decreased, definitely you will be receiving lesser damage, right? So it's pretty good. All right, it's just that like this skill card is pretty much, you know, like it's a single target stuff. And next is gonna be the Lost Word, alright, and it actually targets all the opponents out there, known as the fantasy nature out here. What it says that like before the attacking, she actually can improve her own evasion, focus, and yang attack. Okay, so that is good. Alright, being able to improve her own evasion, definitely it's gonna be quite helpful for her to keep on defending the incoming damages. Okay, and she can also improve her focus as well as the yang attack as well, being able to deal a little bit more damage out there, even though she is a defensive unit. Okay, so according to the words of the writer out here, for farming purposes, Reimu possesses a reasonably powerful all lost word. As we already discussed that like her last word can actually improve her own yang attack, so that means she can actually deal some impressive damage out there to the opponents. Okay, so well, due to being heavily weighed towards sun and being strong but not exactly outrageously so, because she's a defensive unit, so really don't expect a lot of damage coming out from her. Alright, she's not a DPS unit. She can run into serious problems against enemies that can resist the sun, as she is a sun elemental type. If there are units that are actually going to resist the sun elemental damage, then well, she can have a little bit problem with them. Still clear of those though, and she will get the job done. Alright, overall, Reimu is an extremely powerful friend, especially since she is free. Yes, while she has some problems farming sun resistant enemies, and her damage can be low outside of her lost word, her kit is overall very powerful and she is well worth investing into. Okay, so that's the thing out there. Anyways, that's the Reimu Hakurei. And now let's talk about the another amazing unit out there in the game. If you manage to get her, feel yourself to be really lucky. Alright, the only problem right now is that with the Yuyuko Saigyouji, well, you can only get her through the paid banner. So let's hope for her raid banner up to come up soon, or let's say for her to actually being listed out there in the normal banners. Okay, so in farming she is like S+ tier, in tower she's S tier, and in overall she's a S tier unit. Alright, so looking into her details out here, you can see that like her yang attack is gonna be 1,380 points, while her yin attack is gonna be 1,010 points. 1,380 yang attack is a very impressive attack stat out there. She can definitely deal some amazing impressive damage out there. Okay, and she's an attack unit, so definitely she is a DPS unit who actually excels in dealing a lot of damage, and even her normal shot attacks are AoE damages, meaning like you will be easily clearing out the contents out there with just her normal attacks. You really don't even have to depend on her spell cards. Like what? Right? Yes. Her spread shot and her focus shot both actually target all the opponents out there, and she also boasts to have one of the highest attack out there. So with those combinations, you definitely can clear the contents like Terminator. All right. So that's it and done, guys. Let's look into her first spell card. It actually allows her to improve her own yang attack. Well, as you can see that it's the yang attack that she is definitely going to major into, right? So, well, being able to improve her own yang attack is going to be very helpful in her to deal a lot more damage out there. It's a single target nuking damage out here. Looking into her second spell card out here, guys, it's also a single target nuking damage, okay? And there's not much of utility out here. When we are actually talking about her ultimate skill, or let's say the Lost Word skill out here, it actually can deal damage to all the opponents. It's AoE damage known as the Saigyouji Parinirvana. Wow. That's a Buddhist word right over there, okay? So what it can do is that it initially can boost her own attack right away, and which is going to be so good out there, meaning like whenever she is going to deal the damage with her Lost Word, she is going to deal some massive damage out to the opponents because of this initial attack up for her own self, okay? So that is great. On attack, zero level, on attack up for 1 turn, and that's quite enough to deal some really impressive damage, and it can hit real hard as well, okay? So according to the words of the writer out here, for farming, it does not get much better than Yuyuko. Her Lost Word, Saigyouji Parinirvana, is devastatingly powerful even at 1 point. Thanks to the Ghostly Princess bringing herself up to 7 levels of yang attack up and 3 levels of accuracy up through her skills, she doesn't even require a powerful story card to accomplish the task. No matter what your luck with story cards, maybe, yes. Whatever the RNG luck that you have, guys, as long as you have her, she's definitely going to just help you a lot with every kind of contest out there. Or even if the enemy resists wood, it doesn't matter. Her Lost Word will farm just about any event for you, okay? Overall, Yuyuko ability to invite foes to their death is not to be underestimated. Very well said, guys. Very well said. If you need damage or a powerful farmer, you can't go wrong with the Dreaming Ghost, okay? So that's gonna be our this character known as the Yuyuko Saigyouji. Okay, wow, that's so great indeed. I just love this character. And now let's move on to the next character, and that's gonna be the Youmu Konpaku. She is a really superb unit indeed. For farming, she is graded as S tier. For tower, A tier. For overall, she is a S tier unit indeed. So looking into her details, we will be able to find that she's an attack type unit, and well, she actually excels in both yang attack and yin attack. So she is a very balanced unit, guys. 1160 points for yang attack as well as 1160 points for yin attack as well. Like what? Right? That's good, isn't it? Well, now let's look into her there's spell cards out here. All right, so for the solo out here, guys, not much of the like utility out here, just a single target nuking damages, whereas for her second spell card out here, it has a lot of utilities. All targets critical attack and critical defense down. Okay, so she can actually decrease the critical attack and critical defense of the opponents, meaning like if you can possibly manage to land the critical damage on the opponents, it's definitely going to hurt a lot, okay? And the opponents will not be able to deal a lot more damage with the critical damage as well, alright? So that's pretty good out here, alright? Pretty good offense and defense at the same time. And finally, look into this Lost Word or ultimate skill, Matsui Reflecting Satellite Slash. Alright, so looking into this one, before even she attacks, she is actually going to decrease all the targets, or meaning like all the opponents' yang defense and yin defense right away. And that is definitely going to improve your damage output on the opponents, okay? And it is actually going to last for a total of 2 turns, meaning like even your other allies are actually going to be able to take full advantage of this situation out here. And this utility is one of the best out there. Being able to decrease the yang defense and yin defense right away on just one single skill out there, this is so good indeed, alright? According to the words of the writer, when it comes to farming, Youmu excels, possessing an extremely powerful all Lost Word that does tremendous damage at even 1 power. The events she cannot farm are next to none, okay? She can just farm all the events too easy, man. However, due to the majority of its 1 power damage being moon element, she can sometimes struggle against enemies resistant to moon, okay? She can also farm the boss of 1-5-4 on lunatic by herself with relative ease, which drops a very useful story card, alright? So there we go, guys. She has a very good uses out there, especially when it comes to farming. And overall, Youmu is a useful addition to any player's roster. Obviously, man, being able to decrease the Yang defense and Yin defense right away with just one skill, it's a really fantastic skill indeed. A fantastic farmer and great at hard fights too. There's almost nothing her Rokan can't cut, okay? So that's the thing out there, man. Youmu Konpaku. Now let's move on to the next unit, and that's gonna be the Ran Yakumo. She is rated as S+ for farming, S tier for tower, and overall she is rated as a S tier unit, okay? So let's look into the explanation out here, like why is she so amazing for the farming? Just like Yuyuko Saigyouji, okay? Let's look into this. She's an attack type unit, alright? Looking into her Yang attack, it's 1330. Well, she's also boasting to have one of the best Yang attack out there, just like Yuyuko Saigyouji, alright? And her Yin attack is pretty minimal out here, so definitely she's going to excel with her Yang attack. And well, looking into her normal shots, you can see that like both are AoE attack, meaning like she's gonna be a really great unit for clearing out the contents. And even with a normal attack, she's going to deal a lot of damage, thanks to high Yang attack that she has, right? And on top of that one, having both AoE attack with the normal attacks, it's so good, man. Having her in your team is definitely going to allow you to clear out contents pretty easily out there. And when we are talking about the spell cards out here, with the first spell card, she can actually improve the accuracy of the entire party, and that can be quite helpful out there. And it's a solo skill, meaning like it can deal a very single target nuking damages, whereas for the another spell card out here is also a solo target, meaning like a very good single target damage dealing skill out here. Well, it has no utility for now, alright? But when we are looking into the Lost Word, okay, this is the skill that you might really want to look into, okay? It actually targets all the opponents out there. Nasu and the 3 Takada's Killing Stone, it says. Alright, so pre-attack, even before she is going to attack, she is actually going to boost her own attack. Wow, that is great. So pretty much she's nearly like a copy-paste of the Yuyuko Saigyouji, alright? For now, we cannot get the Yuyuko Saigyouji from the normal summons, right? So we really have to go through that paid banner. But well, instead of getting Yuyuko Saigyouji, you can actually go and prefer to run Yakumo. That's why I think their ratings are pretty similar as well, because the way that they perform, it's pretty much the same. Think about it, alright? Own Yang attack 2 levels up for 3 turns. That's great. Anyways, according to the words of the writer right over here, due to the sheer strength of all of her Lost Word at 1 power, Ran is a top-notch farmer. Alright, not only just to her Lost Word, but also contributing to her normal shot attacks, which is an AoE attack. It hits so hard, in fact, she won't really need to worry about it being resisted, okay? At least not for a long time. So for the early and the mid-game contents, no problem at all. Even if the opponents are kind of resistive to the earth element attacks, still she is going to just knock that shit out of them. Okay, overall guys, Ran's an extremely strong farmer and no slouch in the harder fights either. Just don't expect her to do anything except damage, because she doesn't have any kind of utility. That's what you actually saw a while ago, right? The only utility that she has to herself is that she can boost her own attack, right? That's all. Or the 3 to 4 all earth breaks if you desperately need them, alright? So that's gonna be it. Anyways, that's the Ran Yakumo, being able to deal AoE damage with our normal shot attacks. Very high Yang attack indeed, and so good Lost Word skill. Now, we are going to look into Medicine Melancholy, the next unit. Her farming grading is A tier, tower S tier, and overall S tier unit. So why is she out here even though her farming skill is not really that superb? Well, looking into her, ladies and gentlemen, she is an expert when it comes to poisoning the opponents out there. She's a technical type of unit, alright? She is not out there to deal some burst damage to a single target, okay? She's more into inflicting the poison damage to the opponents, and when you can poison the opponents, especially to those opponents who are not immune to the poison, guess what, guys? Your opponents will have the high chance to get broken, alright? You can easily break the opponents out there, and break can be quite helpful, especially in the hard difficulty contents. So, well, if you are kind of stuck in a hard difficult stage, then you might actually want to bring this character along with you, and she can actually make your battle much easier, okay? So definitely is not meant for the fast-paced game out there, but when it comes to the slow-paced games for the hard battles out there, she definitely can assist you a lot, okay, by poisoning the enemies, breaking them, and making your game progression much easier. Not only that, she can actually poison the opponents, she can also decrease the target's attack, alright, with her single target nuking damages. And when it comes to her ultimate skill, the Lost Word, she can actually deal some heavy damage to the opponents, alright. Anyways, the main thing that's what's working on with her is that like she actually works really fine with her poison effect, alright. And when using Gray's own agility is also improved as well. So anyways, that's the thing out there with the medicine Melancholy. It's really needed for the hard boss fights, for any kind of hard content out there. Whenever you actually require your opponents to get broken down, or you want to really break your opponents, medicine Melancholy is gonna be a very great assist to you guys. Alright, and now let's move into the A tier. Wow, there's only this one solo unit who is actually persisting in the A tier. Alright, that's gonna be Alice Margatroid. Okay, looking into the farming grading, it's only D rating. Wow, she's definitely not good for the farming out here, so you definitely might not want to bring her to the farming. All right, when it comes to tower, she's rated as A+, and overall she's a A tier character. Okay, so looking into the explanation out here, guys, she's a technical type unit. Her yang attack is gonna be 890 points, and yin attack is gonna be 1080 points, so she definitely excels with her yin attack. All right. And looking into both of her normal shots, it's solo skill, alright? So definitely, thanks to this 2 solo skill, definitely she is not a great unit for the farming, okay? For farming, you definitely want to look for those shot skills that can do AoE damage, alright? And now let's move into her spell cards discussion. With the first spell card out here, it's a solo skill, meaning like it's going to target a single target enemy out there. And there's a pre-attack condition out here as well. Targets yang defense down. So she is actually going to decrease the defense of the target, the yang defense, alright? And that's pretty helpful. And thanks to her, this second spell card, she can actually bring down the defense of the opponent, you know, like yin defense, okay? The yin defense of the opponent will be brought down, meaning like thanks to this both of her skills, she is an effective, you know, like defense decreaser. Okay, so you can decrease the defense of the opponents, both yang and yin type. All right, and that can be really helpful in order to push out a lot more damage onto the opponents, and it can be a very great help, especially in the boss fights when you can actually want to push out a lot more damage into them. Okay, it's so good. The only problem is that like all of her skills seems to be solo. Okay, it only just targets single target. This is the reason why she is so bad at farming. All right, anyways, now let's move into the Lost Word. At least her Lost Word is a AoE attack, just like normally, alright? The Phantom of the Guard, Guingol, okay? So what it says that like pre-attack, all targets evasion down. So she's actually going to decrease the evasion of all the opponents. That means like it's gonna be quite easy to track down the opponents and hit them real nice, okay? All targets evasion 2 levels down for 3 turns. Anyways, well, the writer has nothing to say about her. What we can really come out from this is that like she definitely is going to rely upon her Lost Word in order to deal a lot of damage, especially that yin damage, alright, mostly yin. And when it comes to the utility, she has it. She provides a very good utility in the table, being able to decrease the yin defense and the yang defense of the opponent, and that is so good for a total of 3 turns out here, guys. And that actually makes her a really great unit that you really want to bring into the boss fights or any kind of like hard fights out there. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Anyways, now let's move on to the next tier, and that's gonna be the B tier. Oh well, there are a total of 6 units out here. So well, let's start talking about them one by one. The first one is gonna be Patchouli Knowledge. Okay, so her farming grade is C tier, tower is A tier, and overall B tier. Okay, so looking into this one as a technical unit, her yang attack is pretty low, but her yin attack is really high. 1380 points. Wow, that's pretty sharp. That's pretty high, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so while looking into her normal shots, at least one of her shot is a AoE attack, so that means like she's gonna be quite moderately helpful for the farming contents, alright? And with her first spell card, there's not much of like, you know, this utility out here, and just a single target nuke damage, not really that impressive. With the second spell card out here, no utility out here, right? And it's a single target nuking damage as well, so you cannot really expect a lot out of her, okay? And finally, the Lost Word. It's a AoE damage, just like any other Lost Word skills out there. The Lost Philosopher's Stones, it says, okay? And even her last Philosopher's Stone, this last word skill does not have a utility effect. So, well, with all those utility that's being devoid out here, she's not really a great unit. You can already start to realize that, like, you cannot actually gain a lot of advantage by having her in your team, okay? She cannot decrease the defense of the opponents or raise her own attack stats or something like that. She is just going to boast to have a large yin attack, and she's going to deal some really good damage, and that's all there is to it, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot just expect her to become really that super duper amazing though. Anyways, character ability, it says damage to effective elements and resisted elements 20% up. At least there's a little bit of damage booster right over here, alright? So that's all there is to it. Anyways, that's all, guys. Well, even the writer doesn't have anything much more to say about him. Now let's move on to the next unit, and that's gonna be the Reisen Udongein Inaba, this playboy girl. Alright. I thought she was really amazing, but hey, she is not really that amazing, guys. Looking into her yang attack, it's 1210 points. Definitely you can see that, like, her yang, thanks to her high yang attack, she's going to deal a lot of yang damages out there. And her normal shots, one is AoE damage, and next one is the solo damage. Okay, pretty average. And looking into her spell cards out here, our first spell card doesn't have any kind of utility. It's a single target nuke damage, and same goes with the second spell card out here as well. So this is the reason why you definitely cannot actually excel in the farming contents or clear out the contents real fast with her in your team. And looking into her last word, it's a solo. Oh my god, even her last word skill is a single target nuke damage. Alright. Stare of the Hazy Phantom Moon, Lunatic Red Eyes. Okay, pre-attack, guys. Before she attacks, she's actually going to decrease the enemy's evasion and accuracy, which I really don't think is really that super duper, you know, like turning table kind of stuff. Okay, not really that amazing massive skill out here. So with all this kind of incompetitive skill sets out here, she definitely deserves to be in the low tier mode. Alright, so that's gonna be the Reisen Udongein, being rated as D in the farming because she has so many solo or single target skills, and tower just B rating, and overall she's a B rating unit. And let's go into the next unit, and that's gonna be the Cirno. So looking into Cirno, she is kind of usable in the farming mode. C rating, tower B+, and overall a B tier unit. Okay, so looking into her, guys, her yang attack is gonna be 1120 points, and yin attack is gonna be 1170 points. Wow, I mean, like, she's quite a balanced unit. Okay, all right. Alright, so looking into her normal shots, at least one of her shot is like AoE damage, okay? Looking into her spell cards, ladies and gentlemen, at least she has some utility effect out here. Pre-attack, own attack up. Okay, at least now we have got a unit that can actually boost her own attack before she can damage the opponents. So definitely she can actually deal some real good damage out to the opponents out there. And looking into her second spell card out here, it's a single target nuke and not much of utility to expect out of it. At least her last word is AoE damage, and not much of utility out here. So, well, you cannot actually really expect something really good happening out with her last word skill. Alright, just some plain damage out there. Anyways, that's it and done. Her character ability: for every layer of barrier status, freeze, yang attack, yin attack, crit accuracy, 1 level up. So try to provide barrier to this unit, and well, in that situation, maybe she can actually excel a lot. So you would really want to pair her up with units that can actually provide those barriers. Okay, when using boost, own agility 1 level up for 1 turn. So that's gonna be it. Nothing for the writer to say about here. Anyways, let's look into the next unit. That's gonna be Sanae Kochiya. Okay, our farming D rating, for tower B rating, and overall she's a B rated hero unit. Okay, so she's a heal type unit. Alright, so you need heal. Well, she's gonna provide that healing for you guys. Yang attack 1000 points and yin attack 940 points. Well, no problem at all, because she really scales on providing that sustenance to the team. But hey, look at her health. It's pretty impressive. 8000 points for her health. Alright, so well, looking into our normal shots, our spread shot is like AoE target, whereas our focus shot, it's a solo target. Looking into our spell cards out here, ladies and gentlemen, her first spell card doesn't have any kind of utility out here, which is really sad. Like, what? Hey, she should have that healing out there, right? And same goes with her second active skill as well. Like, she's a healing unit, right? And she doesn't even heal with her first and the second spell cards. Like, what? What? That is so useless. Okay, now finally, let's look into the lost word. Wow, the Pama Buddha. It kind of reminds me of the Kung Fu Hustle, man. Kung Fu Hustle. Okay, so what it can do is that, like, value of the miracle would, man, nothing to actually look into out here. Wow, where is the healing? Man, all right. Sanae Kochiya lost word. Sanae wanted to create her own lost word, but she was unsure how. Nothing to actually look into out here, guys. And character ability, damage from resisted enemies like 20% down. Wow, I mean, like, she is classified as a heal character. Where the hell is the heal? No wonder she is one of the useless unit out there. It defeats the purpose, man. It defeats the purpose. Look at it. No extra effects, no utilities, and even her last word is a single target nuking damage. So, well, what a mess, okay? So anyways, character strengths, exceptionally powerful and flexible healing alongside the barrier restoration. What? Extremely versatile element access, being able to provide star wood, earth, water, and metal bricks. Okay, wow. Like writer do say that, like, there is a powerful and flexible healing, but I just cannot see. All right, maybe there's something that I'm missing right now. Don't even think about using her for farming. Her last word, value of a miracle, has solo targeting and low damage, making her unsuited for full auto farming at any stage. That's what I said a while ago, right? Meanwhile, her second spell card, the day the sea parted, has very low damage in spite of its all targeting, meaning manually farming lunatic events is simply out of the question. Alright, so that's gonna be it. Unfortunately, Sanae is still somewhat held back by two core weaknesses. The prior mentioned low damage can be a real problem, and she brings no offensive utility to the table outside of her elemental access, which can sometimes make her a tough sell. Okay, that's all there is to it. Anyway, still, she's a overall a useful friend who, so long as you keep her weakness in mind, won't let you down if you need healing or simply the elements she provides access to, okay? So where does the healing actually comes into? I am kind of lost out here. But anyways, seems like she can heal, but from where? I got no idea. Alright. So, well, let's go into the next character, and that's gonna be Chen, okay? So looking into her farm, she is being rated as A tier, tower B tier, and overall a B tier unit. And Chen is a really effective unit out there as well, okay? Looking into her Yang attack, it's gonna be 1,220 points. That's pretty good, and she actually excels in Yang attack, whereas for her Yin attack, it's pretty bad, and she actually excels on her speed stat. That's what it seems like. And her first normal shot can deal AoE damage, whereas her next normal shot is actually single target damage, okay? So that's it and done, guys. And now let's look into the spell card out here. Alright, solo, it says it has a little bit of utility out here. Own agility up. So she is going to boost her own agility, and as she actually is a speed unit, I think it's actually going to like benefit her, okay? So that's gonna be it. Now let's move into the next spell card out here, and it has pretty good this utility effect out here. Pre-attack. Before she is going to attack, she is actually going to decrease the accuracy and the evasion of the target, which can be pretty helpful in order to take care of the pesky tanky units. Okay, so yeah, that's good. That's good. Not really that bad, but not really that superb either. Lost word. It's a all targeting skill. Rooking of the Yuji. Okay, pre-attack, own evasion up. Alright, so well, she is really about like decreasing the evasion of the opponents and increasing her own evasion. And it's like, not much of really superb utility out here, okay? So pretty much really sad unit. Okay, this character ability, when using the boost on agility 1 level up. So yeah, that's gonna be it out there, okay? And now let's move into the next character, and that's gonna be the Luna Child, okay? So right over here, guys, it says for farming she's a D-rated, and for tower B-rated, and overall she's a B-rated unit. So what's so good with the Luna Child? Let's look into it right over here. Technical unit, and her Yang attack and Yin attack both are pretty average, okay? Whereas, well, her Yin attack is way better than compared to her Yang attack. 1,220 points though. Okay, so well, with that one, let's see what she can do. Oh my god, both of her normal shots are solo attacks. Definitely not a great stuff for the PvE content. Looking into her, this first spell card, it's a solo effect, and it doesn't even have any kind of utility. Same goes with her second spell card, but hey, it can actually target all the opponents out there. So it's an AoE damage attack. And looking into her last word skill, or her ultimate skill, it's known as Extra Supermoon. Okay, so there we go. Attack. Moon Energy Bullet. That's all there is to it. Not much of really good utility out here. So yeah, these are the reasons why she is not actually being considered one of the really good unit out there when using Gaze on in attack level up. Okay, so well, she can actually deal some really good yin attack thanks to her passive boost and her character boost and her high in attack stat out here. But that's all there is to it. You cannot actually expect something really good happening out here with her. Okay, so that's all, guys. Anyways, now let's move into the C tier characters. Those characters who are actually going to get really neglected. Okay, so looking into the first character, that's going to be the Marisa Kirisame. Well, for farm, she's a C tier unit, tower D tier unit, and overall a C tier unit. And looking into her yang attack, 1290 points, and her yin attack is 1200. Wow, I mean, like, her yang attack and yin attack is pretty awesome. They both are pretty high for a very balanced unit. Okay, that's great. I like that. And well, both of her normal shot attacks are solo, so it actually kills the fun of her using in the normal farming contents. Alright, but both of her spell cards are actually AoE targets. Wow. Alright, but they don't have utility stuff out here. But anyways, spell cards can actually be very helpful for clearing out the contents real fast, provided that you can actually use them tactically. Alright, and finally we have got the Lost Word, known as the Blazing Star. Well, it doesn't even also have that, like, utility effect. And guess what, guys? The Lost Word, it's a single target nuking damage, so cannot really expect a lot out of it. Okay, capable of using magic when using boost on yang attack 1 level up for 1 turn. And that's all there is to it, ladies and gentlemen. According to the word of the writer, overall, for any new player, Marisa will be your best friend for some time. Just for some time, okay? That means, like, only for early game contents is gonna be a really great help to you, because both of her spell cards are actually AoE targets, targeting. Okay, meaning like she can actually clear the content pretty fast with her spell cards. But when we are actually going to progress even further, things are that, like, we have to substitute her with better units, helping you to carry through the early game. Once you get past that stage, she will unfortunately be lacking and only brought out when you need the star element. Okay, so that's all there is to it, guys. Anyways, that's it and done. Now let's move on to the next unit, and that's gonna be Sakuya Izayoi. Okay, Sakuya Izayoi. So looking into this unit out here, you can see that the yang attack and yin attack are pretty much nearly the same. All right, pretty balanced out here, and it's a speed-based unit. Okay. Both of our normal shot attacks are solo attacks, so that means, like, this is definitely not a great unit for farming purposes. Spell cards, both of at least one of our spell card is solo attack, all right, solo target, and it actually decreases the evasion of the target. That's all there is to it. Whereas for her second spell card, it actually deals AoE damage, can be quite helpful out there to clear the contents pretty fast, and it actually improves her own agility. All right, and finally with the Lost Words, you can target all the opponents, and well, it doesn't have any kind of utility out there, so you can only expect for some plain damage output, and she cannot even improve her own attack. So, well, you cannot actually expect her to deal some amazing damage out there. Okay, nullifies the effects of barrier status paralyze when boosted on agility 1 level up. So yeah, that's all there is to it. Not much to really talk about that unit. All right. And now let's move into the next unit, and that's gonna be the Lily White. Farm C tier, tower B-, and overall C. Okay, so with that said and done, now let's move on to the Lily White out here. Okay, so now finally we are getting another healer. Okay, so well, health 5,750 points. That's way lower than compared to the previous one, which I think was about 6,000 plus, right? So yeah, there we go. Yang attack and yen attack. Okay, there we go. I mean, like, it's pretty average out here. Well, at least one of her normal shot is AoE target, so it can be quite helpful out there for the normal contents. Okay, all right, and that's it. And let's move into her this card out here. Seems like it can actually provide some heal out here. Party's Yang defense is gonna be boosted by her pre-attack, buff. Party's Yang defense up and own focus down. Oh wow, what the hell? She's actually going to decrease her own focus? What the hell? All right, not a really good exchange out there. Anyways, now let's move into her next spell card out here, and it says it actually targets all the opponent out there, pre-attack, recovers party's HP and own focus down. Okay, yeah, there we go. This is what we need. Recovers the party's HP. She is gonna be a really good healer out there thanks to the recovering of the party's HP right over here with this skill out here. Okay, so that's the thing out there. Anyways, recovers 35% of the party's HP, and that's really great, isn't it? Own focus 2 levels down. Okay, so well, she's actually sacrificing her own focus to provide some really good stuff to the party members out there. What the hell? Alright, thanks to her Lost Word, she can deal some good AoE damage to all the targets out there, and it has a little bit of utility effect out here as well. Restores the party's barriers. Wow, that is great. Being able to restore the party barrier can be quite helpful out there, so that like you don't go into the break status, okay? Because if you go, things can be really bad, okay? And she can actually be a really great unit out there. With all this amazing, impressive, like this resume out here, she could actually be placed in like B tier, I guess. That's what I think, okay? Just my personal thoughts, man. She's pretty effective if I have to really like analyze her, okay? Anyways, character ability, capable of hurling the arrival of spring, nullifies the effect of barrier status freeze. That's great. When using the graze, party's yang defense 1 level up. Okay, that's great. That's great. I like her. I like her. Pretty good. Lily White. Next one is going to be Daiyousei. Farming, D tier. Tower, C grading. And overall, a C grade. Okay, so let's look into this unit out here. She's a support type unit. Alright, Yang attack and Yin attack pretty low. Well, she is really going to focus on supporting all the allies. So let's see what she can do to the party members. Spread shot, okay? So it actually can deal damage to all the opponents out there. Focus shot, it's a single target nuke. Alright, and looking into the spell card out here, first one is going to be the solo card. Okay, I mean like she's going to deal damage to the single target. Not much of utility out here, but when we are looking into her second spell card, it has 8 effect into it, alright? So let's see what it can do, okay? Support, own Yang defense and critical evasion up, okay? Wow, it's pretty selfish. What the hell? Alright, she's also just going to boost her own Yang defense and critical evasion. What the shit? No wonder why she's so down in the list. Oh my god. Okay, finally, her Lost Word, known as the Aid, okay? So, it's a support, recovers the party's HP, evasion, and Yin defense up. Okay, now this is good. Her Lost Word is pretty awesome. It's just that the problem is that, like, you cannot just keep on using the Lost Word over and over and over again. Okay, so, it can actually take some time for you guys to actually go with the Lost Word, so it's pretty inconvenient that all the things are actually packed into just one Lost Word, okay? Recovers 40% of the party's HP, that's great. Okay, I like that. Party's evasion 4 level for up to 2 turns, and party's Yin defense 4 level up for 2 turns. Wow, a Lost Word skill is pretty impressive for a supportive unit. Nice, I like that. That is great. Nice. Alright, that's said and done. Now let's move on to the next unit, alright? And that's gonna be this Nitori Kawashiro. Okay, let's look into this one. Farm D, Tower C, and overall C. Alright, so looking into this one, guys, right over here, you can see that like Yang defense 960 points, in attack 1120 points. Not much to really look into that one. Oh wow, both of our normal shots are AoE damage dealer, meaning like she can be a quite helpful unit if you really want to clear out the story contents ASAP. Pretty great unit, guys. Looking into her first spell card out here, there's a utility that is going to actually decrease the evasion of the target. Not much really that effective. Our second active skill, not much to really offer on the table. And finally, our last word, it's an AoE attack. Can be quite helpful out there, alright? And she can actually improve her own focus and critical attack. Okay, that's all there is to add. And she's not even an attack type unit. And her attack stats are so low. Oh my god. Like, the things just don't go in tandem with her. Pretty sad unit, guys. Pretty sad unit. Oh my god. Pretty sad unit, guys. Alright. Can't actually pack a lot of punch out there because basically her basic attack stats, it's not really that amazing. Now let's move into the next unit, and that's gonna be the Sunny Milk. Okay, for farming D tier, Tower C tier, and overall C tier unit. So looking into this character out here, Yang attack is gonna be boosted by 1260 points, and Yin attack by 690. Oh wow, she's totally into Yang attack, and it's not really that impressive stats either. Oh my. Okay. And well, both of her normal shots are solo attacks, so definitely you cannot count her on her for speed clearing the contents. And looking into her spell cards, her first spell card is a solo attack, alright? And it is actually going to decrease the critical accuracy of the opponent. Like, what? Nothing much to expect out of it. And her second spell card can actually target all the opponents, can deal damage to all the opponents, and there is this pre-attack effect known as all targets accuracy down. Okay, so it's just going to decrease the accuracy of the opponent and critical accuracy of the opponent. It's like, what? Okay. Anyways, looking into the last word, it's a solo or let's say single target nuking damages, and there's another effect that's actually going to bring the accuracy of the opponent down. So if you really want to bring the accuracy of the opponent down, then well, at that particular situation, she might be really helpful, or else she's pretty much a thrash unit. Alright, anyways, now let's move into the another unit that's going to be the Star Sapphire, okay? So looking into the Star Sapphire right over here, she's a DBF type of unit. Yang attack is going to be 1260, okay? So she definitely excels on dealing the Yang type of damage. And looking into her normal shots, both are solo shots, so definitely not a great unit for the farming content out there. And looking into her spell cards out here, guys, she's just going to improve her own accuracy and that solo damage, not really that great. Looking into her second spell card, it is actually going to provide boost to the party accuracy. Okay, so that is great, I would say. If you really need some extra accuracy sometime, some way in specific contents out there, you can actually use her to provide that extra accuracy to your party, alright? And that's all there is to it. All attack damage, alright? And finally, it's the last word, and it's a single target nuker, alright? And that's all there is to it. She can actually decrease the target's critical attack and critical defense. Okay, so in that sense, if you can actually deal some critical damage to the opponents, you can deal heavy damage on them, and you can also take less critical damage from the opponents out there as well. So I would say it's pretty great. It's just that like her last word skill is a single target nuke, not a AoE skill. So pretty sad out there. Anyways, that's it, and that's the thing out with her. Not really that superb unit, but not really that bad either, but there are so many good units that can easily replace her. Okay, so now finally let's move into the D tier unit, and that's gonna be the Meiling. Oh my god, the worst character out there in the game. Damn it. Farm D, Tower D, Overall D. Wow, she is good for nothing. Meiling, it says. Okay, health is gonna be boosted by 5,800 points, Yang attack by 1,190 points, Yin attack by 1,230 points. Okay, so she is definitely going to excel in her Yin attack. At least one of her character's shot attacks is actually going to deal the AoE damage. And that's going to be the spread shot, okay? Looking into her spell cards, you can see that like both of her spell cards are actually targeting the single target opponent. And well, she's actually going to boost her own defense. She's an attack type unit. Why is she boosting her own defense? Like, what? Why? She's supposed to boost her own attack. Girl! What's wrong with you? Next is going to be this solo effect out here as well, a single target nuke damages. And well, what she can do is nothing. There's no extra utility effect out here, and she's just going to deal some damage with this dragon type attack. Okay, so that's all there is to it. Totally kind of excelling at taijutsu. And finally, her last word. It has no utility effect, and it actually deals damage to all the opponents out there. And that's all there is to it, ladies and gentlemen. She just cannot improve her own attack in order to boost her damage output. So, well, you just cannot, like, expect her to clear out the contents real fast. And don't know, like, where to use her. Okay? So, yeah, there's to it. When using boost, party's Yang defense, one level up. So, she's just going to boost the defense instead of boosting the attack. What is wrong with her? Okay, so pretty like lost case unit, like she has lost her identity or something like that. Anyways, those are the units that do belong to this tier list, and these are the units that is available right now. Definitely a lot more units in the Japan version, or let's say the other version of the game of this game out there. Okay, but for now, for the global versions, these are only the units that is available right now. So what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with this tier list out here, or do you have other opinions, feedbacks, or criticisms? Then please do let me in the comment section below, and let's have some discussion about it. All right, anyways, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to keep on enjoying the contents of my channel. See you guys in the next video.